Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Chalk Talk here on the DK Pittsburgh Sports Steelers YouTube channel and DKPittsburghSports.com. Steelers coming off of a 27-14 win over the Browns. The offense got off to another slow start. 13 games this season, 13 opening drives without a touchdown. But as per usual, second half, offense made adjustments, and I really wanted to look at the play calling in the second half. And this drive alone, this opening drive, this is after the Browns missed the field goal. You're really seeing what Arthur Smith can do as a play caller. And you'd like to see this kind of stuff more consistent throughout the game. It's not always on him. Part of it is execution as well. But just the intention behind the play calling. That's what I hope you really see here. So we're going to get started here. We're not going to break down every single play. But it's more of the thought behind what they're doing. So here, they're going to run a screen to start off. Move Freiermuth in motion, move him back. You get a look at what the defense is doing. Okay. And you try a screen. Nothing's there. Eat it. Intentionally ground the ball without committing the intentional grounding penalty. This gets blown up. The throw is not there. 58 does a good job of getting over there, cutting that off. Okay. You can live with it. Fight another down, right? That's the whole part of it. Now, second down here. Before we go, this looks like it looks like 11 personnel. It depends on who's out wide there. I have to see. That might be Skoranek. And it's a run up the middle. Okay. Yeah, the 11 personnel, they're running it up the middle. Got Darnell Washington as the only tight end. Move Van in motion, see what the defense is doing. Now, the one thing we're going to look at this. Now, obviously, this is a run that doesn't go anywhere. This almost looks like a trap that doesn't get anything. Because, Seumalo, when you pull a lineman over like that, that's either a counter or power, but then you go along with what Najee's doing. Like Najee's first step is kind of going that direction, then he opts not to go that way. So that looks like it's a power run, and Najee just kind of freestyles that one and runs into the teeth of it. So, but what I really want you to pay attention to here is look at the Browns defense. Okay, so Van moves in motion. Okay. Now, this guy right here, let me get my different color. He comes up and crashes this. But then also just watch these guys. They are committing up front. And even watch number one. I think that's Thornhill back here. He's quick to also react and run downhill to this thing. Okay? Watch these linebackers. They are absolutely selling out for the run here. And, why not? Steelers are without George Pickens. They need to be able to move the ball in an efficient way. So why not try to run the ball? And that's what we saw from the Browns. They loaded Najee said it after the game. They packed the paint, really like a lot against Najee. And so this was big. This was big for this team to try to run the football. But there's intention behind it. That one play right there, that was a whole part of a whole bunch of other plays that didn't necessarily work out that end up paying off later on. Okay, next play here. This is third down now, okay? They move Freiermuth in motion. Russ creates, moves, finds Freiermuth, hits him for the big third down conversion. Get a look at the other end zone view here. Russ does a good job of feeling the pressure, gets out of there, gets his eyes downfield, looks, finds Freiermuth. Okay. Now, this is one thing. We're going to go back to what we talked about last week, okay? Freiermuth's route is this. He's running an out route. And watch Freiermuth. Watch him. Okay, he cuts to the outside. He sees Russ is starting to step up and, kind of go out here. So what does Pat do? Pat What's he doing? Okay, let me find some open grass and run there. So that's what he does. He finds all this open space. Look at that. That's a gaping hole. Freiermuth finds that open space. Russ finds him. Boom. First down. That's the kind of stuff that I was talking about last week. Freiermuth they are starting to get on that same page, and that is going to help this offense. When Russ wants to get out of the pocket and improv, that is going to start paying off more and more and more. So, great third down conversion there. Okay, this is an important play to remember here. Okay, yeah, I'll just let it play, and I'll diagnose it here. I'll dissect it here in a second. Okay, good run by Jalen. Really, really good run by Jalen here. He gets that up the middle. They get a double team on the inside. Just a good zone read right there. Okay. Here we go. Now, obviously, Jalen is running a zone run here. So he is literally just reading anything the linebackers are doing, and he's going to try to go the opposite way. But this is an RPO. So Wilson is reading this defender right here in terms of whether or not he's going to hand it off or keep it. Outside of that, what the receivers are doing, or the tight ends too, because they're in 12 personnel, okay, so, and this is a balanced formation. It's also not a wide formation. It's kind of a condensed formation here. So Freiermuth is going to run a flat here. That's the one tight end. This receiver is running a corner. Okay. This tight end is also running a flat. And then Van is running just a spot right here. Okay. That is the dissection here. So what Wilson's going to do is he's going to read this handoff. He's going to see what, let me change my color here. He's going to see what this dude is doing. If he comes crashing down hard, then it's a handoff. Or I'm sorry, it's not a handoff. Then he keeps it. If he kind of stays out here and contains this edge, it's a handoff up the middle. Right? So that is what's going on. So let's now watch it back. You see what the receivers are doing? That's one way you can always tell RPO. You know, if this, especially whenever like I think it's Skoranek here is running a corner route. I mean, he's running that corner route because he can't see what else is happening here. He doesn't. Or not, that's not Skoranek. That's Scotty Miller. He's running that corner route, so that's how one way you can tell it's an RPO because he's not going out there to try to block. He's actually running a route. But Jalen does a great job, as you can see, of running that. And again, I think this, because you read what 54 is doing. 54 is kind of. It's not a full-blown, bam, I am absolutely getting Jalen Warren. But he's also not necessarily just sitting here and setting this edge here either. He just kind of hands it off. Now, part of this could be, numbers as well. Now, granted, you've got 4 up here, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So you could say, okay, 8 in the box, maybe you shouldn't run that. But 9 here has got the flat, right? So that takes a guy out of the box. This guy's coming out here. So now, if Russ is reading this, which I'm assuming he is, now it's only 6 guys in the box. So maybe he's just reading that off of numbers too. But a part of it is also what the edge defender is doing. And it's important to remember all this stuff. So here's 54. He's kind of crashing down, but also that body language isn't necessarily like I'm going to go get that back either. So Russ does do the handoff, making sure, and then again, you're watching what the linebackers are doing here. McCormick, actually, that might be duo that they're running. Yeah, that might be duo because you got a double team here, and you got a double team here. And then McCormick climbs and he gets this guy, and then Sayamolo climbs and gets that guy. So this actually might be duo. And Warren does a great job. And it would make sense because Warren's a really, 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 really good gap runner. But a great run. All right, next play, another first down here after that run by Jalen. And we're handing it off. I don't care how many guys are in the box. We're running the football. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not him. 5, 6, 7 in the box for sure. 9's close. He's probably got, but 1's really cheating up. He doesn't really do anything because he gets. I mean, again, watch the body language of these linebackers, and even then, watch 1. 1 isn't really selling out for any kind of. I mean, those linebackers are crashing down. They are expecting a run. Okay. Important to remember this stuff. This is in terms of sequencing plays. This is a really, really good play, by the way. Really here. Okay, so the Browns run a lot of here. I'll let it play, but the Browns run a lot of man coverage. Okay. They run a lot of man coverage. And this is just a really great way to scheme somebody open here and take advantage of just somebody who's not a good football player. That number 30 right there, that's Dejan Bush right here. He's not a good football player. I don't know who he thinks he's covering, but it happens. All right, let's see what's happening here. This is why this is a good scheme. So one way you can find out if this is man, because it's not all the time when one guy moves in motion from one side to the other. If you don't see a guy going across with him, okay, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's zone. Okay, so we get this motion here. Okay, so Bush is like, okay, now he's like, that was my guy. It's not anymore. Now it's your guy. Okay, and then they move Patterson out. And now you see 9 widen to get with him. Now you can tell, okay, this is man coverage. And what they end up doing here, so you've got what's called a 3-by-1. 1, 2, 3, and then there's the 1. 3-by-1. Okay. The Steelers turned this into a 4-by-1. And that's because after the snap, Jalen's going to come out here on this swing pass right here. So this is man coverage. Again, we've dissected this pre-snap. Man. This is what the Browns do. And so you would think at this point that Dejan Bush right here, number 30, has also got Jalen Warren. He's responsible for the back. Now watch what happens. Watch what happens. You get that guy out there in space, and you do anything that sells to one side. Like nothing looks like 4-by-1 before the snap. This is just scheming a guy open. Nothing is making it look like Jalen's going to go out and swing this to that side, but that's what ends up happening. So 30 just thinks he's got 30. He gets lost. He's like, well, what's going on? It's also just bad defense too. I'm going to take advantage of the bad defense. But it's also a good play. It's a good scheme. It's a good way to take advantage of man coverage. Next play. Good. Okay, got a little wide receiver screen, get 5 yards. All right, that'll do. Nice play. Take 5 yards. All right, that's good. Now here's the next play. Does this formation look familiar? We got a condensed formation. We got 2 tight ends. So we got 12 personnel. Jalen Warren's on this side. Look a little bit familiar. They're about to run the same play they just ran a few plays ago. And Myles Garrett right here, that's who Russell Wilson's going to read. Boom. Money. This is why the Steelers want to run the football so much. Even if it's not the most efficient way to run the football. Even if they're not the most efficient team in running the ball. This is why they want to do it. They want to get... I mean, look at all the guys who crash down on this thinking it's run. 53 starts crashing down. 95 crashing down for the run. 30 crashes down. 12 crashes down. All these guys crash down thinking it's run. And they completely forget about Van Jefferson, who's wide open. I understand Van Jefferson doesn't strike a lot of fear into guys. But that right there, that is why the Steelers choose to run the ball so much. They want to get the opponent to think that in whatever tendencies, you just saw the play that they ran earlier. They ran the same exact play and they handed it off when the Browns, at least pre-snap, had at least 7 guys, if not 8 guys in the box. This is what that does. It attacks what the defense is trying to do, and it uses it against them. Now, that swing pass that we were talking about, the 4x1, there's one more play I wanted to point out here. This is on the next drive at the 20-yard line. Now, watch what they're doing here. And this is also just masterclass stuff by Russell Wilson. It's the same concept here. You're moving one guy over. Okay, that right there, that's going to move this safety back. That's going to move this guy up. And then watch what Najee does. Najee comes out here on this swing. Linebackers aren't going to let that happen again. No, they're not going to let that happen a second time. So this linebacker comes crashing down to take that away. Russ gets this safety to bite over here. Boom. This is excellent play calling. This is excellent scheming. This is excellent quarterback play. Just watch the defense go in disarray. Watch the linebacker. Oh, we're not letting you hit that swing pass again. Yeah, but we'll watch Russell Wilson just make this. Watch, he turns to the left. Watch the safety go back over this way. Boom. Open that window. Touchdown. Masterclass stuff from the offense in the second half. You'd like to see it happen a little earlier, no doubt about that, but masterclass stuff from Russell Wilson, from Arthur Smith. Give Arthur Smith his credit. I've been saying it since week 1. Steeler Nation, you guys have a real offensive coordinator, and I got blowback when the offense got off to a slow start this season. You have a real offensive coordinator. The proof is right here in this game. Again, not without its flaws. They need to get off to better starts. But this stuff right here, this is why you can definitively say the Steelers have a really good offensive coordinator. That'll be it for this one, guys. Really appreciate you tuning in. We'll be back next week to break down. Oh God, I have to go to the wrong side of the Commonwealth this weekend. We'll be right back. We'll be right back next week to break down a play from that game. Until next time, we'll catch you guys in a flippity flip. We'll see you later.